Well, a lot of people think of Floyd as a disrespectful guy because he talks a lot about himself. But if you listen to him talk about his opponent he's usually actually upping his opponent. And that's partly because Floyd, when he says, I'm TBE, the best ever, he's told me that doesn't mean in the ring. Someone else could have that. I'm talking about the whole fight game. And he's right about that. He's been very selective in terms of when and who he fights, like who he fights and when he fights them. Are they on the way up, not in their prime yet? Canelo. Are they on the way down? Are they a little stale? Shane Mosley or Pacquiao. And he's good at making it into a big event. So once it's an event, he doesn't want to come out and say, like, this guy's no good, I'm going to beat him easily. He's promoting an event. He usually, if you actually listen to him, is saying good things about the other guy. He's upping that guy. He's also a business person who is invested literally in this fight. So on the business side, he wants the participants, himself and the other guy, to show up on time, things like that. Floyd Mayweather generally tells you the truth. When he doesn't, it's because he's selling a fight and exaggerating the abilities of his opponent, in fact. And in fact, that's one of the reasons why after the fight, when people like me are like, okay, but you took Juan Manuel Marquez, he's too small, or Mosley's too old. He's not trying to hear it because before the fight, he said they were really good. And after the fight, he expects everyone to say, after this big event, that they're really good, right? I mean, the reason he is undefeated is because he doesn't take anyone lightly. He's prepared every time. He has no off nights. And that's partly because, in fact, when you listen closely, he does respect the opponent. He's in an event with a guy who's been very disrespectful toward him. Of course, that's why Floyd chose him as an opponent, because he's going to help carry the promotion, right? But nevertheless, he's being disrespectful toward him, and he's also showing up late to places where Floyd thinks that's unprofessional. I don't think he's telling you a lie here. I think he's telling you the truth. And when Floyd tells you the truth, he will do it when it's in the best interest of the promotion. If the truth was not in the best interest of the promotion, he'd keep it to himself. But he realizes by telling the truth here, he also promotes the event.
Well, obviously, you being a boxing aficionado, I defer to you with a lot of this, but I know Floyd a little bit. And one of the things that, several things actually that come to mind. We talk about this guy. What we praise is the boxer. There's a lot of things about him, obviously, you can't praise. But you praise the boxer. And the reason why, because as Max just articulated, it's the work that goes into it. It's the commitment to excellence. It's the fact that he never cheats you. Like, a lot of people are critical of a guy by the name of Adrian Broner. Me personally, I genuinely think that Adrian Broner is a really, really good fighter. I don't think he's active enough, which is why he lost to Mikey Garcia recently. He's not active enough in the ring. But the problem that I had with him, the problem that I had with Azab Judah wasn't necessarily their boxing ability, Max. It's the fact that they played around, in the lack of dedication. I bring up Adrian Broner, for example, because I remember when Floyd, I think he was going to fight Canelo Alvarez, and he was laying on the couch taking a nap in the arena before the fight. And Adrian Broner showed up, and he had a belly. You will never see that with Floyd.
I remember that night.
Constantly in tip-top shape all the time. And so the level of dedication and focus that he puts forth to his profession, never cheating the fight game because he always shows up prepared. He's qualified to make those statements because he makes the money that he makes because he lives up to the business of boxing at every turn. He doesn't just go in the ring and show you his majesty as a defensive fighter, at least. What he does before the fight in terms of training and conditioning. What he does before the fight in terms of promotion. What he does before the fight in terms of making sure that all I's are dotted and T's are crossed to maximize the monetary potential that exists out there. He doesn't cheat you. And so when he sees someone doing the kind of things that he pointed out, he's saying that's not good for the game. Because you might be able to get away with it, but the guy on the come up looking at a Conor McGregor and wanting to be like him and thinking emulating him is going to get it done, but might not be nearly as good as Conor McGregor, you're actually going to hurt the business instead of helping it, because if people are doing business with you, but you're compromising their business because you're not professional and because you're disrespectful to the process, that is not something that most fighters most athletes are ever going to get away with, which is why Floyd pointed out what he pointed out.
Teddy Atlas talked about that a bit yesterday, where he didn't feel like Conor should even have a shot based on the guys who pour their blood, sweat, and tears into the sport, the true boxers.